Steph Curry is planning on meeting with LeBron James to recruit him to the Warriors. And now Bleacher predicts LeBron James could finish his career with the Warriors on a 2-year, $30.8 million deal. The hypothetical move would pair LeBron James, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Kristaps Porzingis for one final title push. Joe, imagine LeBron and Steph actually ending up on a team, not an all-star team, not an Olympic team, but an actual NBA team. Do you think Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Kristaps Porzingis, is that enough to make them a title contender coming out of the West?
I like that combination. I think Steph and LeBron will complement each other so well. Draymond as well, Porzingis as well. But it depends on the type of the other guys that they're gonna surround them guys with. Okay, Ocho, because let's face it, those guys are up in age, and to think that they just gonna walk through an 82 game damn season. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. So
nope.
You're gonna have some great young talent, guys who know their role, play stars in their role, and are willing to sacrifice. Because at the end of the day, you know it's gonna revolve around Bron, Curry, and Draymond. And you gotta have a lot of these young guys, bro, who be willing to accept that and enjoy that role. So I would love to see it though. I think it'll change the landscape of basketball. I think they'll be great. If they can stay healthy, I think they definitely can make some noise.
My thing is, like, who's going to play defense? Like you said, Joe, Steph Curry's not known as a defensive guy. LeBron is going to be 42 years of age, and he can't play defense like he once could. Kristaps Porzingis can't stay healthy. Jimmy Butler is coming off a knee injury. Draymond Draymond is Draymond. We know what Draymond can do. But like you said, okay, what are you going to field around him? Because you're going to have 3 or 4 guys that can play defense.
Easy. And perimeter guys. Yeah.
Yes. No, you don't need no bigs. You need perimeter guys. You need guards. You need guys that can guard wing players. Because guess what the West got? Wings. Somebody got to guard Ant-Man. Somebody got to guard Murray. Somebody got to guard Shea and J-Dub and all those guys. Somebody got to guard them. I don't know who, but I'm just saying somebody has to.
So if you're gonna team all those guys up, you got to be willing to put the right pieces around them. But I mean, I'm sure the basketball world would love to see those guys team up. Hell, I ain't gonna lie, I know I would. You know, I think it'll be must-watch TV. The way Steph shoots the ball, the way Bron can score and facilitate and make guys around him better. I think Draymond will be great in the roles that he'll play. He'll be that emotional leader, that intimidator. He'll be that point forward who gets guys involved. And you already know Draymond knows his role. They're gonna play winning basketball because they all
Draymond,
they all gonna want another title. You know, if they all get another title, they all will be at 5. So I'm sure, you know, they'll be ring chasing for sure.
Yeah, but you got to think about some of the teams in the West, you know, and LeBron and Steph and Draymond, as great as they are, the teams that they had, you know, the 73-9 season, having KD, having Clay, I think it's a little bit different. And thinking that they even have a chance to come out the West with them young boys, them young bulls, you know, out there right now. I mean, the chances are slim. Great team, you know, collectively, you know, all together. You would think experience and veteran presence would kind of give them the edge, but they're not going to be able to run up and down with them young boys, man, coming out the West.
That's why it's going to depend on who they put around them, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, you gotta have some young talent, you know, who can play, and you know it's kind of hard because y'all know, man, it's hard playing with some of these great players. It's gonna be hard playing with LeBron.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell, it's hard playing with Steph Curry. You know, when you ain't never been in those situations playing with that amount of talent. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that, hell, if you're a young dude, to some degree, you're gonna have to sacrifice your damn game.
I agree.
To pull off a deal that makes financial sense for LeBron, the Warriors would be hard capped at the first apron. That means every single dollar counts right now. A chunk of their financial flexibility is tied up in sustaining their current roster, including Kristaps Porzingis. So how do you make room for a multi-million-dollar contract for LeBron? It's going to require major sacrifices. We are talking about guys like Draymond Green potentially opting out of a current deal to restructure for longer, lower, annual security, or trading away pieces of their remaining depth just to absorb LeBron's salary slot. All right. Let's pull back the curtain and look at how this crazy puzzle actually pieces together. Because the money is where this dream either becomes a reality or crashes and burns. Rich Paul dropped a massive update, confirming that at least 10 to 12 teams have already reached out regarding LeBron. But here is the kicker. Reports indicate LeBron is pushing for a max contract, or at the very least, total clarity on how a franchise plans to spend its remaining cap space to build a winner around him. If he stays with the Lakers, a 2-year $50 million deal with a player option and a no-trade clause is already on the table. So, if Golden State wants in on year 24 of the King, they can't just throw pocket change at him. They are going to have to get incredibly creative. And that brings us to the ultimate reality check. The Western Conference is a complete meat grinder right now. The days of veteran teams winning on pure execution and IQ alone are fading fast because the young bulls out west are faster, longer, and they do not get tired. Look at Oklahoma City with Shade and J-Dub. Look at Minnesota with Ant. Man, look at Dallas. If the Warriors build this aging super team, who is chasing these young superstars around the perimeter for 48 minutes? Steph is carrying the offensive load, LeBron has to conserve his energy for the fourth quarter, and Porzingis is anchoring the paint. You cannot survive out west without elite, hungry wing defenders. But at the end of the day, despite the luxury tax headaches, the intense defensive questions, and the brutal depth sacrifices, how can you not want to see this? Look, the absolute highest profile basketball insiders in the world are openly admitting that the Golden State Warriors are legitimately in play right now. Why? Because at this exact stage of his legendary career, LeBron James isn't just chasing another standard contract, he is chasing his ultimate basketball legacy. When you sit back and think about it, pairing the greatest mastermind playmaker of a generation with the greatest shooter to ever walk, the Earth isn't just about winning a 5th championship ring, it is about completely rewriting the history books of professional sports. This is a high-risk, maximum-reward gamble that would instantly shift the entire emotional weight and landscape of the NBA overnight. If the front office has even a realistic sliver of a chance to pull the trigger on a LeBron James blockbuster deal this summer, they cannot afford to hesitate, because safe simply does not win championships anymore, and it is time for Dub Nation to go completely all in. Thank you for locking in with Warriors Nation News. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.